Okay guys, I just wanted to do a quick follow-up video. So this is the updated recipe timing, table. So I went through the turbo fuel recipe and I chose to go through the, producing heavy oil and rubber. And I wrote down the recipe, the input side is like what you use and then the output is what you produce. So I calculated the ratios, for example, I started with this base value because you could also start with, the end product. You could start with instead of calculating it, like, where is it? You take your output, because this building, it doesn't represent the connections, like which product gets turned into what, but but heavy oil gets turned into turbo fuel and it uses compacted oil, coal as well. And I wrote down the recipe numbers, and then comes out like you need 5.3 refineries to make 160 turbo fuel out of 300 crude oil, and 300 is the maximum you can fit in a pipe currently. And also, actually, I went ahead and played a bit with these 3 mods on. I didn't get the nuclear thing, but the reorder, I really liked the idea behind it. And area reactions, I just wanted to fly. Where is it? Somewhere. It doesn't even say here. Yeah, but basically my spacebar makes me ascend, but what's it called? I'll just go in and show you how the recipe looks like in game. But yeah, I could not descend. And if you go into the options menu and you try to reassign, what is his name? Well, the left control is bound to the align to grid thing, right? Snap to grid. But if you go into the options and you try to assign it, it won't let you assign left control. It just goes blank. And if you go into options and you try to, use the reset, it only reset my audio volume. I don't know why. But it didn't reset the key binding. So I have no idea if... Oh, it did. Yeah, but see this left control. I'm gonna try again. But I want to use where is it, flashlight for tab. I want to use inventory for right mouse button. And secondary fire is on B or whatever. Build gun. What? It was left control, wasn't it? Just a while back. Oh man, it snapped again. Whatever. But yeah, basically it doesn't let you bind the left control. So maybe that's what's interfering with the mod, not being able to descend. And if you disable the flying, you just drop to the ground. I guess you could survive if you had what's it called? Yeah, I added a little module here to get rid of basically the solid fuel. I could do it directly. I could put it directly into the shredder here. Awesome sink. But I just put it in as a fuel. So I had to add a little bit of plastic production. But yeah, basically... oh. Well, I could have flown up. But yeah, see, here's where I produce the heavy oil. And I get a useful byproduct of rubber. And if we open a default, or maybe not, well, default refinery, you would see that it produces 30 of this residue, or 20, I can't remember, and it takes 30. Oh yeah, it's like I guess it's 20. You get 30, 20, and the 37.5 is here. Yeah. So if you go into my ratios sheet, you know, you start with crude oil, and then you have the output is the heavy and rubber. You know, I just wrote down the numbers, so it's 20, 20, 30. And then I go into, you know, because they're happening in the same building, they get the same ratio, like the base ratio. There's also the input versus output you know, ratio between the buildings, but that's different. That well, it stacks, you know, but you need to calculate it separately and then add them together. But yeah, this recipe is happening also in a same building, you know, like that's why compacted coal will have the same ratio as this building. Only, you know, this first calculation will be different, but the base, the C2, you know, it travels down the line, or, you know, up the line in this case. And the next final step is making. Oh yeah, it's already a turbo fuel right here, but the final step is to put it into canisters, because you can only use turbo fuel as liquid in the generators, right? So you gotta separately calculate the plastic ratios to canisters, you know, canister ratios to turbo fluid, and turbo fluid to, well, basically a turbo fuel is the recipe goal, so we calculate everything according to it. So that's why these are only ratioed, you know, only to exactly fill the 160 turbo fuel we produce. And here I just use the rubber and fuel to make plastic for the canisters, and this is where I make the fuel. You know, and the awesome thing just eats up the extra rubber, extra polymer. You know, I have a splitter here, so here sits the rubber, everything else goes into the awesome sink. But I think I should better, yeah, get a, what's it called, a refinery. Can I afford it? So we start with this recipe. See, it's 30, 20, 20. So you go into your spreadsheet, you would mark it as crude oil. You know, rubber is not that important, but basically, you know, output is 20, input is, and heavy oil would be the output. And all these are happening in the same building, right? So we consume this one. And then the next building is this recipe, also a refinery. So it's 37.5, 30 compact coal into 30 fuel. So you go into your table, output is turbo fuel, input is the heavy heavy oil, you know, and you write these numbers down. And compacted coal. Compacted coal output. This is for the minor calculations, you know. I'm not sure. This doesn't mean anything because, you know, you produce, or no. Oh yeah, you produce compacted coal in an assembler. Right, before that you need sulfur and yeah, 25, 25, 25. But it's 1-to-1, so there's no real calculations. But you need 6.4 assemblers to produce 160 compacted coal. Yeah. So I have it. I can show you where it's produced. It's been. I belt it in from this deposit somewhere here. I take coal from here, the sulfur from here. And this train actually goes here. I connect it to here and to here. Just, you know, it doesn't go anywhere else currently. But I'm gonna connect it to there as well. I'm gonna replace the truck thingy. Or maybe not, I can't remember exactly. But yeah, so if you go here, for example, the standard recipe is 20, 20, and I can't remember, 20 as well. So the unpackaging or packaging, it's 20, 20, 20, yeah. So, you know, you punch in your numbers, so the turbo fuel becomes an input in this building. Oh, I should have explained about the ratios as well. So, I just took the input value of crude oil of 30 and I wrote down the maximum number that we can feed in through the pipe, and we calculate this ratio by, well, dividing like basically 300 by 30, and it's 10. So that's our starting value. If you would start from the other end of the recipes, you know, you would start with these numbers. You would, well, you would choose a value. You know, what would you like to produce compact, you know, no, not compacted, but turbo fuel. So the building only outputs 30, or the recipe. So you would pick a random multiplier or pick a random outcome, and then you calculate the multiplier, and then you push it down. And the way you push it down is you gotta, you know, this doesn't reflect the connections, but you gotta follow them. So you have like building 1, crude oil to heavy, building 2, heavy to turbo, and then building 3, where is it, canister, you know, putting the turbo fuel in the canisters. So the input is like 20, the canisters is also an input, and the output is like full things, but I don't reflect them here because, you know, they are, well, first of all, they are 1-to-1, and, you know, there's no point in representing it the end. You don't do anything about it anyway. But this one is done in a different building because this input value refers to these constructors. See, there's no overclocking, so it takes 30 and produces 60 canisters. And the way you would find out how many constructors you need to keep up with, well, this is like the end, so let's go through it. The way you get next multiplier, you know, like how many refineries you need to have turbo fuel as an output, just the liquid, you know. So you would take the output goes first. So you basically, you take how much you produce, you divide it by the value that you need, you know, as an input to, well, in this recipe. Let's just visualize it. Now back in the chain. Well, yeah, you take like how much you would need versus how much you produce. So you take, you know, this number, how much you produce, then you take the next step of the recipe, this number, and you multiply it in the end by the previous multiplier. And then you get that you need 5.3 refineries to make, well, how much you would make? You would make 200, well, in 10 of these buildings, you consume 300 crude oil, and you get, well, yeah, you can calculate it this way, but because it happens in this building, you can just calculate the output of it, like so. You would take like our multiplier, you know, it transfers because it happens in the same building. You would take 20 times 10 is indeed 200, or you know, this multiplier is based on the previous value, so it comes out to the same value basically. Inherits itself because that's what we make, you know. That becomes the input in the next refinery, right, where we make the turbo fuel. But yeah, so with the ratios, you know, you can calculate this value, and if you check my recipe, I have like, this is like 2.5 refineries, this is 2.5, yeah, this is 2.5, and this is 2.5, and where's the 0.3? Did I mess up? Oh no, I have the, no, that's fuel. Oh, maybe I messed up. I didn't add the 0.5, no. I'm making more than I need. No, what's happening here? It's 200 together. But what am I missing? Oh, it's the wrong thing. So, yeah, because I need 10. Yeah. Sorry, I messed with you guys. Maybe the value comes out the same mathematically, but you need to use this multiplier for the building that which is produced in. This multiplier refers to where we make the liquid turbo fuel. We need 5.3 refineries to consume 200 of this gas. I call it gas because it's easier, because Factorio uses mods that have gas or, you know, liquid and stuff, but they're all represented as liquid anyway. You know, nothing behaves like a gas in Factorio. At least while it's in pipe, you know. But yeah, basically, yeah, you would need to use this 10. Yeah, and yeah, if you count together, you know, 2 buildings fully overclocked are 5, act as 5, so that's why, yeah, it works out. And then if you look at my liquid fuel, you know, I have 1 refinery, that's like 2, 3 point something, 3.34. And what did our recipe say? 5.34 basically, yeah. So that's what I have it set at. You know, so it's easy to follow it through. So here I have like also working as 2 buildings. So that's like 1, 2 refineries, 3, 4, and 5.3 because of this. So see, that's an easy clue. You know, you can use it to represent how many buildings you need. And this one, Can't remember exactly. You need 8 refineries. How did I get the 8? That's like 1, 2, 3. Well, 4, 5, 5.5, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there you go, 8 refineries. And the way you get this number is you use the previous, like C3 cell, the previous multiplier, and then you take the output, what you produce, turbo fuel, well, like the single value, because you need to find out the ratio, this is how much you would produce it, in 5.3 refineries, you would end up with 160. And then you take the recipe internal timing. I don't know how to call it, but yeah, proportion basically. So and it calculates out to 8 refineries. And then the final step, you have was it? Oh, that was it. Oh yeah, that's the final product. There's nothing more. So it only pushes down the branches from here. So you need to satisfy the canisters, then satisfy the plastic, but that goes backwards. But from 300 crude oil, I could squeeze out this thing, but I needed extra crude oil for the canister plastic. So I don't know, Kibitz in his video says that, if I could find it quickly, something oil. Yeah, he says like he can turn 300 oil to 16.7 megawatts. And I built my own thing, power plant, on the turbo fuel. I took a train, I think it's in this map. Yeah, I took a train from this sulfur and coal all the way to this oil, and through the magic of video editing, I'm just gonna port there real quick. And I can't remember exactly how much I got. Let's see. I think here, right? Where's my ride at? My ride is here, right? I should have gone to the nuclear. Oh man. Well, whatever. I should go to the nuclear site instead. Yeah, and just in case you're wondering, I chose this spot to make nuclear. Because up here is sulfur, down here is uranium. So I would make this like the forbidden nuclear track, you know, like you wouldn't, you would really just use the highway to get around the island normally. You know, it's useful to you know, put the electric poles down here, because through here it can spread to the whole map easily, and you don't need to put them in a potential way where you would have to rebuild them, you know, later, because it's annoying. But yeah, so you got those two resources already close by, and then I would make the rods here, control electromagnetic control rods. Here I make the encased things, and here I make the concrete. And it turns out this I use the whoa landing in the water crashed the game. I can't remember what I was saying. Well, yeah, like the electromagnet. Oh yeah, the quartz recipe. Like, I think it's like, it used to be a really good one, but now they, you know, like nerfed it very much. And yeah, like the recipe is like only a second, you know, well, like second to last, so to speak. Only one tier up from the default recipe, and all the others win out. But all the others require either rubber, you know, to make concrete. The wet concrete, you need water, and the, what was the other one? Can't remember. Concrete. Oh yeah, well, the silica. But yeah, to produce the silica, it's even better not to use the 26.25 recipe, but the 37 default one. You know. Oh man. Oh great. Wait. I still have the mods on somehow. Even without the launcher. The mods are permanently enabled, huh? Okay. What? Why am I carrying all this? Oh, the autosave must have aborted. I'll just take one. Oh man. Yeah, that's the downside of the reorder. You have to remember the new positions, because the Explorer is no longer under vehicles. Could have been duplicated. Would have been nicer. So here we are. I bring in the compacted coal. You don't need a lot, like 160. Oh, I forgot to show where I make the compacted coal. Well, I can always just squeeze it in. Yeah, so here we go. I bring in the already processed coal. And it all starts with the crude oil. This is the pipe. I can show you. It is 300. Goes into refineries. Same stuff, you know, you end up with the fluid. And why is the rubber backed up? What? No power. What? Oh my jeez. Yeah, so basically the same deal. You just end up with this, and then you pump it directly into the generators. And of course, you know, the train station supplies the material. So the pipe goes like this, and you have I have them fully programmed. What was that? Oh my god. But basically it consumes 4.5 turbo fuel. I have the last one, so let's see. I have like these two buildings work as 5, so I got the mirrored setup. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. So 10, 20, 30. Why did I count the 6? 10, 20, 30. I got 30, then I got 35 here, point something. Well, this one works with like just to make it more what's it called, so I don't need to go into here, but yeah, it works like 35 point something. Maybe I just left it like this, just around 35. But yeah, see, normal one consumes 4.5 what's called the fluid, and I just calculated it upstairs, and you know, kibitz can produce a lot more. So I'm jealous. But yeah, now I just wanted to jump into they are billions, you know, have a thing, because I don't really like the formulaic stuff of the game. You know, you open up every game the same way. Where is it? Somewhere in the Steam. Yeah, the same plan, same opening plan. You know, like every game you. Well, I start with the cheat engine, so you know it's different for me. But basically, you get the food, you know, food wonder, and then you wait until you get the settlers. You know, you get from those settlers, you can't use them anywhere else. You got to use them on the energy. Then you get more energy for, you know, like wood chopping or bunker. I could try it on 800, but I don't click too fast, so I might end up ripping. Yeah, it's a bit too fast for me. I'm not a fast clicker. But just for the sake of video, I'm gonna try it. So 2 bytes. We're gonna search for the starting value of 100 gold. Oh, I'm gonna play on the desolate lands, but because of the infected activity, I find it. I haven't played much of the caustic land, but I think it's easier. Maybe the waves are harder or whatever, but I'm just trying to get into the groove how the game works. So I'm gonna reserve this space for the food wonder. I'm gonna squeeze in, I guess here well, I'm gonna open with the mayor button here. Shortcut is I. So we're gonna search for this 100. I don't know if this causes the game to pause or something, but you know, like you lose out on the achievement or not. But oh, it's not the first. I'm just gonna guess. I think it should be the gold value. I could even squeeze it in here. I think you need 4 of those.
Okay.
I'm just gonna open as standard as I can.
Right?
Do you need me?
Gotcha. What do you want now? What? Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Attention.
Okay.
Building
It's
completed.
gonna cost you double.
Attention. Building
Gotcha.
completed.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Attention.
Building completed?
Building completed.
Oh, maybe.
Attention. Building completed.
Alright, I'm gonna put it on the shortcut 7. I'm gonna put the barracks on shortcut 8. And now we wait. I think I'm gonna speed up this part. Definitely.
Your
Uh-oh.
orders. Yes.
Understood.
So the favorite hobby,
Charge!
weakening the infected.
Here we come. Let's get them. Ready and waiting.
Right. So I'm just sitting and boosting this one archer.
Perfect.
Attention.
My bow
Building
is
completed.
ready.
I will kill our enemies.
So we order straight away the thing.
At your service.
And we could also
Great idea, sir.
find a good spot for some food. Maybe expand a bit into the safe regions. Having at least one veteran archer is really helpful. And now you would take a look at the map, like this guy is very close, this one is close-ish, these guys are quite far, but I still sometimes I manage to aggro even the furthest ones, and these guys are too very close. So ideally we would push to this one.
Attack! All right.
Well, to this side I guess. Just to gain the initial land. And did I fail already? No. I need 4 workers, that's like 2 more tents. I should have built at least one of them.
Attention. Technology research finished.
Next you order the cottage. And this building usually attracts attention, so provide some defense for it.
What?
Do you need me?
Like this
Come
soldier.
on.
Building completed. Attention. Building completed.
Your colony needs a mayor.
Oh, not useful mayors. Because we can unlock the... What? Oh! Did he unlock farms for me? Yeah, I'm actually quite far from any food source. That's surprising actually. Usually you have a lake or a forest or something. But this time I spawned really far from... So the next thing is you can transform all of your things into, you know, population basically. Then you will order the sniper research, and then you will order the... well, where to send those snipers basically. So you see, like, we're still waiting, you know.
Attention. Technology research finished.
Then the next thing will this will complete. I don't have food. That's coming.
This better be good. A new task. You again. Okay.
Attention. Building
This
completed.
better be good.
Attention. Building completed.
Great.
So then we will order a barrack. We need more land, maybe.
Attention. Building completed.
Can't see, this big building is in the way.
Any orders? Of course, my commander.
Energy again. Yeah, so I have. Wait, I only built one? I thought I built a second one. Oh man. Well, okay.
Attention. Building completed.
Yeah.
Attention.
I
Building
thought I built
completed.
more.
Attention.
Why did I?
Building completed. Attention. Technology research finished. Attention. Building completed.
Oh man,
No,
this is
I'm
so
not pointing any
embarrassing.
fingers, but I heard somebody around here needs a mayor.
Waiting for energy.
Attention. Building completed.
So I got a lot of population now, so I'm gonna order 3 barracks. To start with.
You again.
Attention. Building
You know, I'm gonna put
completed.
them on control group 8. And now we only need more houses and that's it. But don't overbuild because you need to defend your territory. And if you fail, well, restart the game basically. Should I grab? I need more land for the barracks and stuff. Right? Maybe I can build the barracks here. But yeah, so I only have 14 people now. And that's way not enough for an army. I only have 21 energy.
Attention.
And
Building
houses need energy.
Attention. Building
What?
completed.
And I got this one sneaking in.
Building
Any tests?
completed.
Yes.
I may, if this sniper doesn't get in time.
Building completed. Attention.
Oh, he's very close.
What's up? Any infected
Oh.
around? Okay.
Attention.
I could have lost the whole game right then and there.
Are you sure?
Tell you. I'm telling you, man. I need more unit presence. I need one more unit presence here. Or maybe I can pull off this
Right.
one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Her patrol route is too large.
What?
So I'm gonna put them
Yeah.
like this.
Attention.
Roger that.
Building completed.
See? It's so easy to lose a game. Just one little misclick. Where is
You're
it?
gonna pay
Oh
me for
man.
this, right? Yeah.
Oh
here
man,
we
come
go
on,
again.
bro.
Is everything
Where's
okay?
the soldier?
Come on.
Sniper is ready.
Okay. Let's do
Sniper
this.
is ready.
Just guide me to the infected. Perfect.
What the heck?
Are you sure?
Tell me. Great idea, sir.
What? I hope you're not wasting my time.
Oh man, what a fail.
You again. Are you sure?
Nothing better than putting a bullet through some brains.
Yeah, so be very careful with your first snipers.
Technology research finished.
If they start firing left and right,
Attention. Building completed.
you will probably lose.
The colony is under attack.
Sniper is ready. Targets. Sniper is ready.
Better be good.
Oh,
infected
Justin! I tell you, mate,
Something to shoot.
what's going
At
on?
your service.
They're coming out of the
Spare
woodwork.
skull. All right.
Like what in the actual?
Orders,
I could
sir.
have lost it right then and there. Straight up, not gonna
Come
lie.
on.
So,
Attention.
looking
Building completed.
better on the... Oh, no, 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 not soldier. Looking better on the thing. I can order one more barracks, so maybe not. Not yet. I'll order more energy. And one more, actually. For future. But there's nowhere to build it. Because I don't have any land. And I don't want to face this flank.
Tell me what to kill.
But they are all shuffling slowly towards me on this flank. Because of the sniper
I need
fire.
to kill something.
I bet you this, I will aggro this monster. Or maybe this one. And if he will just decimate my village. So yeah, that's like day 7.
Need to kill something.
If you're very fast
Your sniper
and lucky.
at your service.
You can start to get your first snipers. I got 12 snipers on the map.
Attention. Building completed.
I can order either more houses or I could go for the... Well, I don't have the wood for it.
Sniper is ready. My sniper is ready. My rifle is ready.
Roger that.
I need to kill something. Just give me something to shoot. Slow but lethal. Tell me your darkest thoughts.
But yeah, maybe I should really consider... well, there's nowhere really to build. I mean, I could utilize this land. But I want to preserve the walkability. If I build it here, you know, units can't cross through here. And if I build it here, I'm not sure if it's defended enough. Like, I need one more sniper over here.
At your service.
Definitely
Nice target.
on a patrol route. Oops, I forgot the research is done. Yeah, I could go for the inn, but I don't have forest. It needs plus 30 wood.
What do you want
Attention.
now?
Building
Sniper is
completed.
ready. Right. Sniper is ready.
Attention.
But with these
Building completed.
starting snipers, you gotta be really careful. Well, really smart, I mean, yeah.
Attention. Building completed.
It's not ideal, but okay.
Just give me something to shoot.
Yeah, so I'm gonna set the sniper on patrol route so that these flanks are covered.
More orders. Yeah.
You stay here.
Sniper is ready. Sniper is ready. My rifle is ready.
Well, if I push this well, I could push the west direction, like totally.
Like a
Yeah.
snake with its prey.
But the wave will come at day 11, so I gotta stay indoors and receive the wave. It shouldn't be too big, but I'm gonna defend it without walls, so YOLO. Some people don't like when, you know,
Sniper is ready.
YOLO is
Sniper is
mentioned.
ready.
Attention.
I need to kill
Building
something.
completed.
So pool all your available snipers
At your service. Who do you want me to
Building
punish?
completed.
I think there are too many snipers here for now. Uh-oh. Yeah. So keep an eye on your population. I mean, how many snipers you want to produce. No more Q slots. Don't press the money hotkey too often, because if you coincide with this one, it will desync your location in the memory.
Gotta love it. Sniper is ready.
So 15 snipers is nothing much to brag
Are
about.
you within my mind?
It's not a big number. Yeah, see, when this thing comes, it updates your money.
My rifle is ready.
So you want to avoid hitting it on the same frame or very close to it, I guess.
Sniper is ready. Sniper is ready. Sniper is ready.
Uh-oh.
My rifle is ready.
I'm gonna pull back just for safety's reason.
That's a certain kill.
Because I have two fronts here and I'm very afraid of this big one.
Units under
Sniper is
attack.
ready to punish. Sniper is ready.
Oh, they're coming in troves, so
Need to explode
I guess
this
I
car.
failed already.
Yes, tell me what to kill.
But this pass is
Who
quite
do you
narrow,
want me to punish?
so it should be alright.
Dreamt of brains exploding.
As a defensive point.
Sniper is ready. Sniper is ready. Sniper is ready.
Yes, tell me. But be quick.
Oh man. I really would like to get this food truck. Oh man. I think I need reinforcements here.
Sniper is ready.
And I'll replace this soldier as well.
I need to kill something.
And this soldier is required here.
Tell me your darkest
Dude.
thoughts.
Dude!
My rifle
Dude?
is ready.
Attention. Do you need search finished?
Oh man, they're pouring in.
Let's go. Sniper is ready.
What the?
I need to explode
Dude.
the skull.
They are trying to break into the buildings.
What?
Uh-oh.
Right between the eyes.
Bullseye. I need to kill something. To the
Our
death.
forces are in danger.
Oh man, no, it's all going wrong.
Who do you want me to punish?
The infection is spreading
I
across
guess
the
I lost the
continent.
colony. That's
It's
it.
a nice day to die.
Our soldiers are in trouble.
Sniper is ready. Sniper is ready. Nice target.
So yeah. Too bad.
Our buildings
You know,
are
like,
being attacked.
I don't know why so many suddenly started to swarm in, because I tried to attack the west position,
Dozens of
right?
infected are near the colony. They are approaching from the south.
How many snipers? 41, and still.
The colony is under attack.
Well, whatever. Thanks for watching, I guess. All the same.